What's up YouTube, my name is Andrea and today we'll share with you a complete guide how to spot fakes in the soccer card market. And trust me, this is a complex topic but an important one. I'll always ask for a like, but this time is even more important. If you leave a like on this video, there is a good chance you help other collectors in the future. Have that in consideration. That said, let's not waste any time, let's go into the video and I hope you have fun. How to spot fakes in soccer? This was an amazing question by a Patreon member and I thought putting this video on YouTube also made a lot of sense. So if you are watching this on YouTube, keep one thing in mind, this ended up premiering first on Patreon and the link will be below the video if you want to join. But I thought this was such an important question that I had to share with all of you guys since this is a problem we have in our market and I think we cannot deny that. So I will share with you the best of my knowledge when it comes to spotting fakes. And let's start with something that is quite logical. It's not easy and the black market gets better every day. The methods I will share here may not make sense in the near future. Do your own research. I will repeat this point again. Do your own research. Don't take everything I say like is 100% true. If in doubt, it's the best to be cautious. Although grading companies make some mistakes, I would say quite a lot in soccer actually, they are still the best source of verification. Fakes have always existed and will always exist. Accept your self-responsibility at the time of a purchase. It's amazing how some people buy cards / stickers for thousands and thousands of dollars without doing their own due diligence. Don't be that person. Start slow, search for knowledge and put time in the market. That will be my best advice. If you are just starting with soccer cards and just because you have a lot of money, don't think you have knowledge, right? So first you have to find knowledge, then you can start spending the way you want. But go slow, search for knowledge, put time in the market and things will become much more clear to you. So a lot of you guys know my past. I've been a Magic the Gathering player / collector for more than 20 years and fakes are not something new to me. In MTG has been facing this problem have been real in the last 20 years, specific I would say in the last 10 fakes coming from China, something that does not appear in soccer that much, but in Magic and also Pokemon of course, and also Yu-Gi-Oh of course. This is a huge deal and trust me, the fakes that are right now in the market, they are quite good. In TCGs it's quite easier, at least if you have experience, again, to tell fakes from what I've been seeing. Why? You have multiple tests. In soccer, the printing is not the same always, and most card stickers have zero real layers of protection. Looking online, the best we can do is try to compare the print quality and the rosette pattern most of the time, but this is not enough. When it comes to Magic the Gathering, and the card you are seeing on the screen is my Nicol Bolas 94 Legends, a BGS 8, that's a real one by the way, but you can see when we zoom the card you can see two different patterns on the printing. On the mana symbol, the blue that end up lighting there, you can see the printing quality is different. When you look at the card, there is the typical rosette pattern that you are seeing on the screen. By the way, search on Google for rosette pattern and different types of printing. This can be a video alone one day, but there is a lot of things you have to know. Tends to be the most typical printing nowadays, and certain rosette patterns, they have a professional and safer type of printing. That said, you can see that in Magic the Gathering, they have these two layers just on the printing. But that's not all. If you buy a Magic the Gathering card, graded of course is different, but raw, you can actually make multiple tests. One test that you can make is, for example, weight in the card, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that well, and see if all the cards are matching the same weight. Of course, in soccer with different sets, things can be much more tricky. Of course, sizes will be another important test. Light, and I will show you an example in a second. Colors, details, and paper fill / stock of the paper used, and of course the print quality pattern. Let's play this video that I did a couple of minutes ago just to show you an example of what's going on. So you can see this Pokemon card, and spoiler alert, this is a fake card. When I put the light below the card, you can see that the light goes the light basically passes the card very well, and this is the light test that you can do in TCG. So the other card I have right there is a real one, and you can see there is no light almost passing through. So you can do this test in Pokemon, in Magic the Gathering, in Yu-Gi-Oh, and even with modern cards right now in sports. Now let's take a look at the Mundicromo card, Roberto Carlos, and you can see similar to the fake Pokemon card, but this is a real Roberto Carlos Mundicromo 2004. The light goes through. Let's take a look at Mega Cracks, another popular set, and you can see the light test also does not work. The light completely goes through. Now let's take a look at another thing. I end up ripping one Mundicromo card. This is not a relevant player, but you don't see a black line protection, and in a couple of seconds you'll know what I'm talking about. That a Parileg sticker, a João Félix sticker, nothing to be see there when it comes to the test of light, does not work. But now let's take a look at the fake Pokemon, and if I rip this, you can see similar to the Mundicromo, there is no real protection in the middle of the back and the front. But let's take a look if I actually destroy this real Pokemon card. This will be a bit difficult since there is the foil stuff, but even without the foil, what you are about to see will be the same. But take a look, you can see that there is actually some black line cover, no, not black line, there is a black type of printing that that blocks the light. And this is something that you don't have in soccer, specific pre-modern. I'm not saying all the sets, but most of the sets don't have this. Mundicromo and Mega Cracks being a nice example of that. In TCGs, sport cards nowadays, that tends to be normal. Sometimes it's not a black, let's say, line, but a blue line. It can vary a bit, but basically the idea is to make the test of light to work. In Magic, for example, you can make other tests like flicking the card, again the paper stock. There is so many things you can do. In soccer gets a bit more difficult. A sticker of course have zero protection, and even the cards like you saw right there, the Mega Cracks and the Mundicromo, they are not made that well. Let's all be real here. Now let's move this. I also want to share some soccer basics, real examples of how you can spot fakes. And I will say one thing, guys, what I'm about to share is highly speculative in a couple of cards. Take everything with a grain of salt. I'm sharing with you something that I believe you don't find on the soccer community, specific on YouTube. So this video, and this is my biggest hope, is this will help a lot of people in the future, even if you are watching this. And you guys know, I ask for the like all the time, but for this one in particular, even more. Leave a like if you find this information something that end up helping you, because if you leave a like, this video will get to more people. That's it. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. So guys, starting with fakes, I think is more than fair that we start with Cristiano Ronaldo. BGS 2-3 years ago and upgrading a lot of those, and sadly most of them being not real. At the time this was a huge scandal in the soccer card community. If you go to the Vintage Discord or even my Discord, you'll see a lot of talk about this, and I think it's important to join those communities. But this is a very basic entry level of detecting fakes versus real. Why? Because if you take a look at the fake one, and this is a fake one, you can see that the colors are completely different. Of course, if you don't have a lot of time in the market, you may think this is just different variations or something like that. But in reality, if you put time in the market, you can see that the colors are quite different. But can we just tell the difference because of the colors? No, there is a lot of details that you can actually pay attention when it comes to this card. And all of the examples I will give you you right now, they are basically just looking at high-resolution scans, high-resolution photos. Like I explained a bit earlier, if you can in the sticker, the card, that will also help you a lot. Take a look at the paper stock, take a look at the size. So there is a lot of things you can do that are also amazing when it comes to spotting fakes, but looking online, those will be the steps that you need to do. So take a look at this in high resolution, and when we zoom this at the maximum that PWCC lets us do, we can also notice a couple of things. First of all, the rosette pattern is quite bad. The colors, like I said, are all over the place, and a small detail that a lot of people may not know is actually this, let's say, brown line that goes on the sticker that tends to not be normal, and I will show you what I mean in a second. Also, the logo for Sporting Portugal is too detailed, and this I actually don't have a great explanation for this problem in particular, because it does not seem like a problem, but when we compare with the real one, you can see that the logos, they tend to be much more out of focus. One thing to also have in mind is when you compare a PSA slab versus a BGS slab, BGS tends to not be that clear, and sometimes just because of that, some people may assume they are dealing with a fake, and that could not be the case. In this case, it is the case, but not all the time. So take a look at this. Well, first of all, let's start actually with the rosette pattern, and pay particular attention to this yellow going to green versus the real versus the fake. And you can see that the rosette pattern is not there, and this is quite clear that this sticker have a strong rosette pattern in a PSA slab. Other thing will be this pink line that you do not find on the fake ones, at least the ones I haven't seen hitting the market. You can see that the pink line goes in a vertical way on the real one and does not appear on the other one. Apart from that, there is a blue line on the top of the sticker, and in this case is actually pink. So this is all over the place. Now my theory about the logos. You can see that the Sporting logo on this one is not super detailed versus this one where the lion is actually quite well put. My explanation to this is probably the guy that was faking those stickers. He realized that maybe the photo was not good for the sticker, and he thought I may have to find a detailed one, and with some Photoshop they end up editing this. I don't have a great explanation, like I said, for this case in particular, but at least that for me makes a lot of sense. Another thing to have in consideration when looking at stickers is that the logos, sometimes they have a different type of printing. I was explaining this in Magic the Gathering, for example, for the mana symbols, but in soccer this also tends to happen. Take a look at this Ronaldinho rookie, and you can see, this is mine by the way, but when you see the rosette pattern is all over the place, so no doubt this is a real one. Apart from that, this is a old slab, and that also quite helps to tell if we are dealing with a real one or not. But the rosette pattern is quite evident. But take a look at the Grêmio logo. You don't see the rosette pattern. So similar to what Magic the Gathering did and still does, some Panini stickers also have this small detail that can be a huge one when it comes to dealing with fakes. So going back to this, another tip that I can give to all of you guys is, in this case, look, this sticker, the real one, is a bit off center, so nothing too crazy there. But if we take a look at the Ronaldo BGS that end up getting graded and starting with 00133, not all of them, but most of them, the card have exactly the same centering. So it's just a bunch of copies that all of them look the same on the back and on the front. This is already, again, another huge red flag. Blows my mind, to be honest with you guys, how BGS end up not seeing this type of stuff. Is so evident that in a weird way just shows how little they care about our market. And until this day, I don't think BGS is accepting this sticker anymore, but they also don't have any self-accountability when it comes to these situations, and they end up grading, I believe, more than 100 copies. Yes, I'm saying it again, more than 100 copies is bananas. But again, colors quite evident, right? And apart from that, all the details end up sharing with you. What is the good and the bad thing about this? Well, this is a very easy example, and if you have, like I said at the beginning, any experience on the market, you can tell right away what's real, what's not. But there is a couple of complex cases. For example, this is not a complex case, to be honest, but is complex in one sense. So let's take a look at another card that is quite important in our market. This is also mine, the Messi 7 on bis. And if you zoom, one thing that you notice is there is no rosette pattern. So, Andre, you have a fake. No, this card end up having a different type of print. Most of the time, the rosette pattern tends to be the print chosen by Panini, Tops, etc. Nowadays is a bit different with foils. Foils, holographics, things can be different, even though the rosette pattern is still used to this day. But this card was printed this way. So if you find one with the rosette pattern, that's where you actually have a huge red flag. And I also have to say one thing: cards in general, they tend to be more difficult to fake than stickers. Why? The paper stock that Panini ended up using for stickers is a very common one. For cards, I think is a bit more difficult, and there is a feeling related with the card specific from a set like Mega Cracks to a sticker that all of them feel the same. So this one is not a fake, but the printing on this one, we actually don't have rosette pattern, so be aware of that. Another sticker that is a very complex case, this copy is also mine, is the BGS ST sticker, one of the most important rookies. In a weird way, and to be honest, I find this funny, the two major, at least in my perspective, rookies for Messi end up not having the rosette pattern, but there is an exception. I will talk about that in a second. But take a look at this one. This is a real ST sticker. I know it's in a BGS slab, but trust me, this is a real one. If you look at PSA slabs, they also look like this. The printing is similar to the Messi 7 on bis. No rosette pattern, but what you can notice in both cases is the colors, and colors are very important. They are amazing quality, and this tends to be much more difficult if you are faking those at your home versus having the real one. So colors are amazing, you can see both are real, but there is no rosette pattern. For the ST sticker, there is an exception, because actually, okay, not this one, this one at one point was also mine. It's not anymore, I sold it, but you can see this one have a rosette pattern. Andre, wait, what's going on there? Is that a fake? No, not really. Why? Because this sticker have, I believe, and I'm doing a lot of assumptions here, I admit, but I believe there was two different releases, probably still in the rookie year, but two different releases that end up having actually different printing patterns. And the reason I believe this is a real pattern, so the rosette pattern makes sense to be on this sticker, even though this seems quite actually more rare, is that if you look at old slabs, and I don't have an example right now with me, but talking with other collectors, I can guarantee you this, slabs, cards that I'm getting in 2018, there was Messi ST stickers with the rosette pattern. Most of the time, they tend to be like this, and this is the most common version. But if you look at other players, you also find other players with the rosette pattern. So this Ronaldo sticker, in my perspective, and you may disagree with me, but made zero sense to be faked. So, and you can see this was graded fairly recent, to be honest, but my point still stands that this ST sticker, you can find old slabs that have the rosette pattern. But then, okay, that's all fun and great, but you know that there was a lot of fakes happening for the Messi ST sticker. And that's true, and I actually have a great topic on my Discord about this, where I explain the difference. I also believe I end up explaining this on Patreon in a very detailed way, that, okay, we have two versions, okay? We have this one, no rosette pattern, and we have the one with the rosette pattern. One thing that you automatically find is the one without the rosette pattern, in my perspective, actually looks better without, but is a bit more dark, and the rosette pattern tends to be a bit more clear. What ended up being a huge mess when it comes to fakes for the ST sticker, and a lot of them end up appearing, in this case, in CSC and SGC. Back at, as far as I'm aware, was not that bad. Shocking, I know, but and PSA had a couple of fakes, but also not that bad. But the difference between these two copies versus the fake one is they end up messing up all of this. Why? Because they made the dark version with the rosette pattern, and the rosette pattern, to be honest, was not as good as this one. So because of that, that was quite easy, if you have experience on the market, to tell that there was one fake going around for the Messi ST sticker, even though this sticker is similar to the Ronaldo one, is still suffering because of that in the secondary marketplace. Now let's move on. Actually, let me close a lot of those tabs. I think the Ronaldo is very easy. Like I said, Ronaldinho, this is because of the example of the logo. This one, no rosette pattern, but also real, rosette pattern, but also real. And the evidence we have for this is the rosette pattern looks very professional. Apart from that, we have other stickers that also have this rosette pattern that are worth not a lot, and old slabs with this one. And again, another example. Now, we have this also on the PWC marketplace, and I was quite shocked to see this graded. Can I tell you for sure this is 100% fake? No, but like I said, colors are a huge thing for me, and take a look at this. First of all, the printing, you can see there is almost a rosette pattern going around, but the sticker is out of focus. That's another huge red flag, and I mean, look at the colors. They look so bad. This is not the normal typical fake for the ST sticker, to be honest, but don't stay attached to a lot of this stuff, you know. Take a look at every card in their own way. Look at small details, at colors, at the focus on the face. If there is some type of weird pattern that you never saw, and I think this card fits very well into that narrative, 100%. No, I mean, I should not say 100%, but I would not buy that slab. Let's put things that way. Now, this is a more now we go to a different case, and this may shock a lot of people that may not be aware. And we have what? We have a Benzema 2006 Panini Foot rookie sticker. At one point, a PSA 10 for this card was doing quite well. Right now, end up crashing badly. So we have two stickers. Can you tell me any difference? Well, I guess I can actually. When you look at the 7, you can see that the colors are a bit more dark, and they seem to have a bit more depth specific on the color of the Benzema face. But to be fair, they look very similar. So even if I'm saying that I can see a difference, I would not judge you if you don't see, because I actually believe this is a very complex case. So another thing that we can use is actually tools like GemRate and see what's going on with the sticker. So take a look at this Benzema sticker in particular. Oh my God. I'll say it again. Oh my God. This is similar to the BGS situation. I'm not sure how PSA end up not detecting that something really shady is going on with this sticker, and I will tell you why. But even just looking at this graph, you have to pause. You have to really rethink about your position in the Benzema market if you are targeting this sticker in particular. So take a look at this. For a long time, the gem rate was 2.6%, 2.4, 2.3. One thing that tends to be normal is gem rate goes down over time because the best copies tend to appear. There is not a lot of them for a lot of those stickers. And then there is a slow decline, sometimes even a steady decline. This case was completely obnoxious. So take a look. The pop growth was fairly normal for a pre-modern sticker. All of the sudden, this ended up going completely parabolic. Even more scary is the gem rate from 2022 May to, let's say, June, July, August, end up going from a gem rate of 2.1% to what? 26%. What the hell is going on with this sticker? Well, my friends, it's quite obvious. There is a lot of fakes getting graded. In this case, I have zero doubt. And how can you tell the fake? Like I said, I think the colors are already a difference that are noticeable if you have experience. But in this case, I think this is a really good fake. So let's take a look at the other things I was explaining to you. And let's take a look at actually the rosette pattern. And this is the fake one, the PSA 10. To be fair, most of the fakes end up getting PSA 10s, PSA 9s, shocking, right? But you can see that the rosette pattern is actually there. You can see there is The lines that I tend to take a look, the pink lines, the blue lines, they appear, they are not super clear, to be honest. The logo seems okay, seems in the same pattern of the sticker. So this is not an easy sticker to tell right away. So let's take a look at the real one. And you'll notice a couple of differences, to be honest. Like I said, the color is a bit different. And if you take a look at the lion logo, I believe there is quite a huge difference, specific on the blue, specific on the details, that you see that the real one is actually a bit more, I would say, powerful almost. And you also see that the blue lines that go, the pink lines that go, making the, I'm not sure if this is a word in English, but the contours on the card are quite evident. But in this case in both, and that's the tricky part. Okay, so Andrea, okay, that's a difficult one. I honestly don't see a difference. Can you tell me what's the difference on this sticker? Because I'm completely lost. This one scares me a lot, and it should, to be fair, because this is a really good one. So let's zoom out both. Again, like I said, I think the colors are the first thing that tells you the difference. But again, the guy that was doing this scam did a huge mistake, and the mistake was on the back. So take a look at the real one. Do you see anything wrong with the back? No, not really, right? But this one have a huge difference. There is this problem above the 7, and you may think, okay, that's interesting, but are you totally sure about that? Yes, and I can prove you this. That's why I was saying every card will be a card, every case will be a case. Take a look at the PWCC history. This is another tool that you can use. I know this video is quite long, but I really want to put a video out there how you can spot fakes. And because I get this question so many times, and sometimes people send me a photo of a card, like I can tell you just looking at the photo, we need high resolution, we need to have the card in 9. I'm just trying to go with high resolution, to be honest, but like I said, there is a lot of things you can do to tell the difference. So let's put Benzema 2006. And let's take a look at the recent sales for this card, specific in good grade. So let's open this 9, let's open this 9, let's open this 9, and let's open a couple of 10s. And let's open actually this 5. You guys will see what I'm talking about. A couple of 9s, another 10, another 10, another 10. I know I'm opening too much, but you guys will realize what I'm talking about. Okay. And now we go back to the oldest sales. And let's start with, okay, let's open all of those actually, because those are actually fairly good grades. Okay, 2021, things are still quite normal. And let's start with those, right? Okay, and yeah, start with the oldest sales. The front, okay, nothing too crazy there. Look at the back, no problem above the 7. Okay, let's close it. Another old one, look at the back, no problem on the top. Another old one, look at the back, no problem on the top. And this is a fairly recently one, but not after the craziness that ended up happening with the explosion of the pop. No problem at all. Take a look at this one, no problem at all. Okay, Andrea, that's interesting. Actually, I believe I sold one fairly recently, and at the time there was already fakes in the market. Mine was a 8.5 SCC. Let's see if I find it. Because at the time I almost felt shameful grading that, because I saw so many people having great grades with that sticker. For some reason mine is not appearing, not sure why. Well, does not matter, to be honest. Here we go. I believe this was mine at one point, at least this was mine 8.5, and I bought from a French collector. And at the time I was already tracking the pop and seeing, oh man, there's so many 10s appear. I got a 8.5. To be fair, still did a very solid number at the time, but that was one of the reasons for me to sell this card. I was saying, yeah, 8.5 will not hold value since there is so many 10s. But look at the difference, yeah. There is nothing on the back, and I bought this direct from France. A beautiful copy, by the way. and a real one, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Now, okay, so those are the new ones. Let's also close this one, and let's take a look at all the others I end up opening. Take a look at the back. Oh wow, shocking. Problematic on top. Take a look at another 9. Oh wow, shocking. Another yellow dot or something. Take a look at another one. Oh wow, another, not yellow, white dot. Now take a look at this 5, and without looking at the back, you'd assume is real. Oh wow, it's real, but guess what? The grade is not the best. Shocking again, right? So let's take a look at another 9. Oh, okay, another problem on the back. Another 9. In this case, another 10. Oh, another problem on the back. Let's continue. This is fun, right, guys? Another problem on the back. And let's take a look at another one just to finish this. Yes, problem on the back once again. So my final thoughts with these guys is clone fiesta. You know, PSA on this case is similar to BGS, like I was explaining. There is zero excuse to let so many of those fly. It's fine if you grade 1 that is fake, or even 10, you know, it happens. But at certain point, especially because there was already people talking about this months ago, you have to do your own research, you have to take self-responsibility. Now, moving on, like I said, use this tool. The gem rate is really good to see if shenanigans is going on. Sometimes in the soccer card market, this graph can actually appear, but specific the gem rate is where things get really, really tricky. To finish this, actually, I have 2 more examples. So, Zinedine Zidane rookie. This one, some fool paid, with all the respect, 15k for this one. And it blows my mind how people spend so much money on a sticker and they don't do their own research. Sadly, this is in the previous sale, so I cannot zoom this. But I remember looking this sticker in the past, when it ended up appearing at auction, and the rosette pattern was all over the place again. Apart from that, and I have a real one, this is also mine. Well, my friends, take a look at this and take a look at that. Unless you are blind, unless you have some type of problem with your eyes, you can see that, wow, this looks much, much better. Why? Because this is real, okay? This is real. So automatic, the colors, well, not the colors. Let's start with this. The BGS Lab is already a red flag, even though I have a lot of stickers in BGS, but it's already a huge flag, a huge red flag nowadays. The colors are completely different on this sticker. I end up also seeing a Thierry Henry, a couple actually, Thierry Henry foods faked on BGS, and I believe also on SCC at one point. And the colors automatic tell you that something shady is going on. Sometimes, again, some stickers can actually have variations. For example, the Ronaldo rookie, there is actually a darker version and a whiter version, and both are real, similar to the SS sticker, but this is not the case for Zinedine Zidane. Okay, Andrew, that's great. That's fake. I can see the colors, but something more that you can give me a tip and advice when it comes to dealing with this type of situation. Yes, take a look at the back. Specific for these Panini Foods, I see the scammer doing this mistake all the time. Look at how amazing the back looks. Wait, if that looks amazing, that's good, right, Andre? No, that's not the case, because normally the white on the back, let's put this in high resolution, tends to look a bit more faded. It tends to... You can notice there is some age on those stickers. If you look at the fakes, the white is very powerful. This is not normal for an old sticker. No matter if the sticker is in good condition, the back tends to be quite more dark, similar to this one. Like I said, this is mine, and you can see it's very faded away. This one, not the case at all. Another thing that I also want to be clear is, imagine if someone actually still have packs and open those. Even if that's the case, a lot of times the back already shows signs of the time. But maybe there will be an exception that actually the back is this white and is real. I also don't want to say this is 100% true, but a lot of times, yeah, this is a huge red flag. Now, let's finalize with something that I believe is the final boss, the last level of the fake situation. So, looking at the graph for this Ronaldo Las Estrelas del Mundo, and I want to be totally open with you guys, I'm not sure if there is fakes going around for this one or not. but I have some bad feelings, let's say it. Why? Well, I see the pop increasing a lot for this sticker, and you can say, Andre, okay, that's fine, but Messi rookies, Ronaldo rookies are also seeing a similar graph to this one. That could be true, but this sticker, and this is why it's important to understand narratives, this sticker 2 years ago, we all end up assuming that okay, maybe not through Reddit, but this sticker tends to be actually quite difficult to find. All of a sudden, there is actually a lot of getting graded. So that's a red flag, but this is more about you putting time in the market. This graph, I understand, does not look as bad as the Benzema one. That's 100% for sure. And another thing to have in consideration is this is not a licensed product. That's why I never end up being a crazy fan of this sticker. I would not be surprised, and this is my theory, that there is a lot of them appearing in the market right now. Specific good grades, that's another thing. Even though good grades in a hand-cut sticker, I always find that super relative. But I'm sorry, I'm actually losing my focus, but this is a very important point. Hey guys, quick pause on this one. First of all, hope you are enjoying the video. If that's the case, do not forget to leave a like, but let me share with you two things. The first is I have a Patreon community that is growing super fast. I put a lot of content there. If you joined right now, you pay around $10, but you have access to more than 100 exclusive videos. It's an amazing place to learn about the soccer card market, and you also support the channel. Link below the video and also in the comments. The second thing is my Discord server. We are more than 1,000 members. I'm gonna say it again, 1,000 members, and it's an amazing community, an amazing place to interact with me, to interact with other collectors, to learn and share about the soccer card market. Similar to Patreon, link will also be below the video. If $10 is a lot of money to you, don't feel pressure to join the Patreon. For me, it's not super relevant. Of course, I would love to see you there, but at least join the Discord. That's totally free and is an amazing place to learn about the soccer card market, like I said a couple of seconds ago. Now let's continue with this one, and I hope you have fun. So, a lot of them appearing on the market, a lot of them I understand is relative, but for the Reddit we expected, I would say a lot of them, even though I still see some going around. Good grades, and this not being a licensed sticker, I would not be surprised, and I know maybe I'm too lost in the sauce at this point, since I'm always very skeptical about these fake situations versus real, etc. But I would not be surprised that since this was from a newspaper, there is some contact in Spain, not sure with the newspaper or some type of company that can replicate those very well. Again, this not being licensed is really, really tricky. But I'm losing focus, I admit. So let's see why I believe those maybe that there is a couple of fakes going around. So let's start with the oldest sales we have for these ones, and those I suspect are real, at least make sense at the time, even though there is a couple of strong sales, but they end up getting graded previous, and we end up opening those. And opening those, one thing that you notice is, actually, I believe, and again, the scan varies a bit, but when you take a look, you can see that these real ones, they are quite dark when it comes to Ronaldo face. And another thing that you notice is there is actually a blue line at the top, and this tends to be true to all the old stickers I tend to find. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. Like I said, this is a very highly speculative claim I'm making. This one is not that noticeable, and this one also not that noticeable. But if we go back to the ones that are selling on the fixed price, and the fixed price is where you actually can zoom, you cannot zoom on the previous sales. It's opening, I'm sorry for that, Ronaldo 95. And take a look of what we have going around here on fixed price. Okay, so yeah, this could be a video alone, by the way, but let's not focus on that right now. Let's take a look at the ones we have right here that are fairly recent, I would say. Okay, and this is a tricky one because the grade varies so much. Okay, so You know what's the difference on this one? You can see instead of the blue line, you see a pink line on the top. But the rosette pattern on this is quite good. And guess what? Since this is a not licensed sticker, there is nothing even on the back. This is a really difficult case, I admit. And I also believe, and you guys can tell me, there is some type of discoloration, almost like green or brown between the blue and the red. This is something I do not find on the old ones. But again, maybe I'm too lost. And I'm too skeptical at this point. I really don't have a strong claim for this to be faked or not, but I have bad feelings about that sticker because of a lot of things. Like I said, you can see again another pink line and that stuff I was talking about. Also, if you notice, I believe the colors are quite different. To be honest, even the colors from this to this are different. But let's take a look at another one. And in this case, is a bit older. And you see the blue line. So you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? And this for me is a bit of a red flag. And look at this, the transition on the red to the blue is not super evident, but on this one it is. Looking again, this is a blue line, okay. Again, transition not there. But again, if you go back, and I know I don't have a strong claim for this one, I totally admit that, but at least I'm putting this out there. Maybe we can all gather some information and see what's going on. You cannot zoom really this one, but I mean, even with this poor quality image, you can see the blue line on the old one and you don't see a transition right there. I also believe the colors are different, but I guess that's more subjective. And again, the scans sometimes are different. Again, similar. This is quite fascinating, really. This one, I'm not sure, because maybe there is a pink line on this one, but I don't know. I think if we had the zoom, oh no, this is much more recently. Never mind, just because it was the last sale. Okay, yeah, fascinating. I have to say it. Let's finish with this one, just to see it. Yeah, blue line, no transition right there. Again, can I tell you for sure there is a lot of fakes going around for this one? Not really. I would be lying to you if I said, but at least I end up putting this video out there that this could be the next level, the one that is actually really difficult to tell the difference, even though I end up finding some details that may help you. Let's continue with this conversation. Now we go back to my normal presentation. So I thought my examples end up helping you, and I know I ask for the like all the time, but this video in particular, again, do not forget to leave a like, because if this video ends up helping you, good chance will help other people in the future. Now, some final tips. Well, the first of all of them is buy from a trusted seller. Wow, shocking, right? But in reality, a lot of these scams, they happen in accounts that have 2 reviews, 3 reviews from a guy that gives you an amazing deal on Instagram, and you think, oh man, if I grade this, I will get such an amazing return, and all of a sudden you end up getting scammed. So buy from a trusted seller, buy from someone that a lot of the community can vouch for. The second tip will be an easy one also, but have some tools, especially a scan or a magnifier. You can buy that type of stuff on Amazon quite cheap nowadays. And you can also put a balance to see the weight. There is a lot of things, like I ended up explaining a couple of minutes ago, that you can do, but you have to need some tools. Specific high resolution tools can help you quite a lot. The third tip will be a basic one, but a very important one. Ask/join the community. So if you have questions, look, my DMs are open on Instagram, and I know a lot of collectors that have sometimes even more experience than me are also willing to share with you their knowledge. So ask, join Facebook groups, join my Discord, link below the video if you want to join my Discord. Be on Instagram talking with other collectors. Basically have a sense of community, and that community can actually protect you of maybe not a lot of this stuff, but from a lot of this stuff. And the last advice would be buy cheap examples that are real. So I was giving you the example of the Zidane card, but in reality that Zidane card is quite an expensive one. If you want to buy a raw Zidane, you have to pay a lot. But guess what? You can buy other players from that set for little to none. I mean, the ones you are seeing on the screen, don't quote me on this, please, but I believe they are like $10 or $15 on eBay right now. And if you buy them, if in the future you get a Zidane, you can compare. You have something to compare. You can actually take a look at the sizes of the stickers. You can actually take a look of the weight on the sticker and compare everything with the Zidane. If the print quality, the patterns, a lot of stuff that can be so helpful when trying to spot a fake. And another thing that I would say is, sadly, grading companies still do a lot of mistakes in soccer. Be aware of this. And I know in the community it's quite easy to say BGS is the worst, and probably you guys are correct. BGS may be the worst, but trust me, PSA have a lot of fakes going around, SEC have a lot of fakes going around, and CSC also have a lot of fakes going around. So none of them have clean hands. But now the good news. Okay, so if I was being a bit, I would say, not positive and negative, the good news is all of those grading companies are getting better. So don't be surprised if 1 year from now, 10 years from now, a lot of problems we have right now, they will be much more solved. Another final tip is, and this one is extra tip, I would say, buying old slabs can be a good idea. That Ronaldinho you're seeing on the screen is mine. You can see it's a old SCC slab. I think it's a beauty, and I know it's real. So even if a lot of fakes end up appearing on the market, and guys, don't think just because you have an old slab that the prices will not be affected, because it will be. End up happening with Ronaldo. PSA did not grade a lot of Ronaldo rookies fakers, but when the BGS situation ended up exploding, all the Ronaldo stickers end up getting affected, and the same will happen with this Ronaldinho. But for me, as a collector, what I really care is to know, you know what, mine is safe, I have a real one, and eventually things people tend to forget stuff, trust me, and when the market recovers, at least I know I have a great copy. And that's everything for today, my friends. For today, no, actually I will continue with the Q&A on Patreon, but for the YouTube videos, everything, do not forget to leave a like I said. I have been thinking about doing this, let's say, long video, a complete guide when it comes to fakes in soccer for a long time, and I thought this was a great one. Do not forget to leave a like. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's so important. And if other collectors have this type of doubts, share this video. Probably will also help them. Let's continue.